Hello everyone, welcome to today's analysis of the NQ and a little bit of related markets. So, it's Monday, the 10th of February. Let's take a look at what they did last week. So we were up here, around here in this little consolidation. I was talking about a couple of TPs that I had for a long. I got out of the long I was in before news because it was like a lot of news and like just made this big wick. It was like a 1-to-1. You know, I just got out. And I suppose if you had gotten in at US Open, you would have seen that TP play out. But I also said in the Discord that my long TPs are also could be valid short entries. And we took this high, which I was talking about. I thought that we might come up into this little area here, but didn't even make it. It just tapped like a few pips of liquidity. Actually, did it take it on the... Oh yeah, it took it on both. Okay. Yeah, so we just tapped a small bit of liquidity, and we got a very strong reaction. I had a few levels down here that I was looking at. One of them got a bounce. Not a bad little bounce here. But yeah, we just kept pushing down. And we kind of front ran my liquidity area, which is inside this pull. We just swing failed this one, which is fair, you know. I mean, yeah, I kind of expected them to come down to this liquidity, and they might. But we'll see. And yeah, that was Sydney's open this morning. Weird ass looking candle. We have liquidity here, but I wouldn't be surprised if we don't come for it immediately. So above us we have this immediate change of character. We can come up into this vector recovery, but getting closes above 21,800 and building very bullish looking structure would be a bit iffy with what they've done here. Yeah, interesting reaction. Maybe they're not done. Maybe they're gonna gun for this TP2 22k, or maybe even the 12-hour OB might be in question now. The one that's up around 22,200, but we'll have to wait and see. But immediately, you know, I would play tapping into liquidity on this drop. There is definitely some catalysts, but with this kind of Monday move, I would be a bit hesitant to jump on trades today personally. I don't know if I will. We have some Japan lows down here. They had SMTs on the ES, but I like this fair value gap, which I don't normally say. I normally hate fair value gaps. There's a volume gap here. There's a breaker. But what it's built on is a kind of this. I don't really know what to make of this. I honestly can't. I can't be confident on how price will react with this Sydney Open. I don't really know. But it took a lot of liquidity. Well, it took liquidity. You know, it took internal liquidity, but it's coming down now to bigger time frame stuff. This liquidity grab was part of this greater change of character. We've been creating internally weaker bullish structure, but overall we are playing off this change of character, which did break structure, and I'm actually waiting for this structural point back here. I'm still kind of iffy on it, because overall we're nested within a bearish area. So coming up into this 12-hour OB getting a very, very violent reaction, closing below all of these highs, to me would be the signal that we could come down to below like 20,600. Closing well above these highs, 22,100, basing out up here, and I mean really basing out, like consolidating properly up here, taking liquidity and keeping moving up. I could then see a new all-time high, and this breaker structure taking over. Right now we're very, very nested, so let's just play the local pulls, right? We have a bearish change of character here. We've taken liquidity, but we know that we can still take a lot more liquidity and it actually be a nicer kind of accumulation area. This is one internal liquidity swipe. Right now it's price is doing nothing, absolutely nothing. So it's kind of a waiting game. We have a 3-minute OB up here, swing failing 21,760, and getting caught in this pull. I could see perhaps a trade down to this demand area at the breaker, if we even make it up here. The thing about this is it's part of a bigger mitigated block. So if we don't get what I want up here, there is a chance that we just work through the block. You also have past daily VWAP up there. Coming up here, depending on how we look, maybe that's a short, but I'm still a bit iffy on it because coming up to that point to me would be a potential structural change. And you could be like, well, Glenn, structural changes happen down here. It's like, yeah, well, this to me is mitigation of a zone that I don't necessarily want price to be coming up here. It doesn't mean that it can't come up here and then change character and come down, but I wouldn't be trying to get in on shorts if price is coming up inside this zone. Personally, it's just the way that I deal with it. But enough consolidation around here, a few changes of character, sure. If we get absorption in here and everything looks really good for a short, then yeah, it's possible. But I would like to see weakness come in earlier if I was going to short it back into here. And now they could just come straight down into demand and then bring it back up. And if they did, I'd be a bit more bullish. But look, like nothing's happening here, guys. Like it's just megaphoning a bit. Yeah, I mean, UK has these equal lows, but it's kind of, it's just a bit just a bit So I'm gonna wait. I think I don't think I'm gonna trade today. I don't see much in here. I just don't see much. If anything, we took this high here, this liquidity, but it provided a, sorry, this one here, I'll stop changing. This one here, we took this, but money flow is coming up. We got a div, sure, but it's a bit messy, and with the amount of liquidity that's taken, I wouldn't be surprised if we just kept pushing up here and had kind of zero regard for this this gap that we made. So yeah, I mean, I could see us just make this, kind of structure that people are like, wait, what? But what about liquidity? What's happening? Why are we not coming down? And it just keeps pushing up and up and up into a big enough imbalance. Right now, even my models are kind of confused, or confusing. If I really wanted to play it, I would say that we're bullish. But the thing is, like, trap between Asian highs and lows created just kind of ugly looking equal lows on open. We still have a bullish change of character. Vector recovery way above us. It's just too mixed for me right now to be like putting my money into any decisions, if I'm going to be honest. If I wanted to look at something incriminating, I would look at these insane SMTs that are being printed right now. So depending on what reaction we get off these SMTs, so this was NQ took this, ES didn't. ES just took this Asia high. NQ didn't. If it's going to move down now, if it's going to move down, it might be around now. But I need to wait and see because it's blown through Sydney's upper areas and it's tapping into US liquidity, and there's a chance they just gun for shorts at this stage. It's a bit iffy, guys. Not gonna lie. A bit iffy. So it's one of those days. It's Monday, and it's a Monday that's not clear to me. So I might just leave it go. I mean, there might be a trade that comes in when they take liquidity for US Open, US pre-market at this stage. But this to me it's not a high probability area. But I have levels. I'm gonna see what happens. Instead of riding to those levels like I normally would, I think I'm gonna go play some video games and wait for an alert. Honestly, today, I'm off tomorrow, so I'm gonna do all my trading tomorrow. It's a Japanese holiday, bank holiday, so maybe something will happen then for UK. But for today, just note the liquidity they took. Note that this is sizable enough for them to pull up internally without much resistance, but also made imbalances below us that they could want to just come into again. So honestly, guys, it's just a bit iffy. Just a bit iffy. That's it. All right. Yeah. Peace, guys. Happy trading. And I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully with a bit more of a clearer view on the market. But I'll leave you my charts as always. And if you do plan on trading, I hope they give you some kind of understanding, or better understanding, or something. Anyway, peace. Catch you tomorrow. Bye.